Welcome back, comrades. This is Gaming with Austin, and today we're on we're on episode 108 of season 2 of the Utopian Community series. Let's get this fired up. What we're gonna do is we're gonna continue on with floor 11. Floor 11 if you're in North America or Russia. Floor 10 for the rest of the world. The truth about cholesterol is, if you consume a lot of cholesterol regularly, you're straining your heart and every last blood vessel in your body. You're literally straining your heart. This is why you should go vegan. One egg has more cholesterol than one serving of meat. Meat is actually really bad, bad for you when you think of cholesterol. Otherwise, it's got plenty of protein. But if you're concerned about cholesterol, you may want to think about going vegan. You may want to think about going vegan. You may want to think about going vegan. $42 times 10, 420. $420. this commune would, like this communal farm, which is a vertical farm, would feed at least 140 people. But to make things more self-sustainable, like feed even more people, this would be vegan. Because, you know, the amount of land required to feed one vegan is about 1/6 of an acre. A regular person needs 18 times more land just to sustain themselves. Some people have deficiencies in certain enzyme compounds that requires them to eat meat. The amount of land that a person needs for sustenance, assuming an omnivore diet, is about 3 acres of land. That's a lot of land. 18 vegans would need the same amount of land. You can literally save the world by going vegan. Because much of that deforestation is due to animal husbandry. As the demand for meat grows, we would have to destroy entire neighborhoods. Millions would get displaced by the meat industry. Which means a lot of people who are forced out of their homes as a result of a growing meat industry. What we need to do is cripple the meat industry. But you know, some of that animal husbandry that'll be left would be for the cats. Because cats are one of only a handful of mammals in the world that must eat meat. I say must. They must eat meat to survive. Which means animal slaughter will not stop entirely. Unless we let our cats go out and hunt. I oppose the idea of a carnivore diet because our bodies cannot process cholesterol very well. Which means for every hunk of meat you consume, you are increasing your risk of heart attack. The meat-only diet is a lot worse than you think. Because you need fiber. If you put your cat on a vegan diet, they are going to die. Even if the vegan cat food has taurine and no carbs, the cat is still going to die. This is really sad. Vegan diet's bad for pussycat. Telling a starving person that is literally starving to death to stop obsessing about food is like telling someone to stop breathing. They can't do it. Because when you obsess about food when you're malnourished, that's your brain's way of telling you you need to eat right now, or else you are going to die. The food overtakes, like, it's so bad, like, the situation is, like, the malnutrition situation is so bad that you'll even dream about food, too. There's been experiments on starvation, too. Trust me, they're pretty cruel. They are really cruel. They are pretty cruel. Even people tried it on the animals too, which is actually really cruel. When America descends down to plutocracy, investigating factory farms would probably be illegal. Which would be bad news for animal rights activists. Like those within the Humane Society of the United States. It is happening around the world. My tip to you, do not eat meat. Meat consumption always leads to the death of an animal. There's no such thing as humane slaughter at all. Because if you tried to kill someone, they would try to beg for mercy. So you'd have to go to more brutal methods of killing. Same thing with animals. What drives us into not wanting to die? Something called the fear of the unknown. AKA panphobia. fear of everything, either the fear of everything or the fear of the unknown. Plus, no one really knows how death happens in the first person's perspective of a person dying. No one really knows. Which is what drives us into not wanting to die. We want to live, just like every animal on this planet. It's like our will to live is so strong that, like, it's not just, it's strong in every animal on this planet. It's so strong that even a zebra who's about to get hunted by a lion will run from that lion for survival. But that lion has to eat that zebra for the lion to survive. It's a battle over who survives, basically. It's like a biological arms race. It is a biological arms race. A lion and a zebra cannot get together in peace because lions are obligate carnivores, and zebras are herbivores. Zebras are herbivores. Lions, like all felines, are obligate carnivores. The driving force to their urge to hunt is due to the fact that they need meat to survive. Because they cannot produce taurine. If you don't have taurine in your body, your heart muscles will tear down pretty easily. Which is why you need to either have the building blocks to produce taurine or acquire it. If your liver cannot produce cholesterol, you need to acquire the cholesterol from meat. One of the very good reasons I decided to go vegan is I have a family history of high cholesterol. Do your heart a favor. If someone offers you meat, decline the offer. Because cholesterol that is found in meat can clog your arteries. Your body has to produce cholesterol. If you get rid of all the cholesterol in your body, all your cells are gonna die. Which is why your body needs to produce cholesterol. Your body needs it. Whether it be by producing it or acquiring it. There's cholesterol that your body produces, aka building blocks of cholesterol you acquire. There's cholesterol you acquire from meat. It's better off to have the building blocks because you don't have to sacrifice the animal for that. Plus, going vegan's better for the environment, too. The real reason most vegans are giving up their vegan diet is because, ironically though, veganism's... Not everybody is fit to be vegan. And in fact, some people can literally... some of those vegans actually ended up wasting away. When you obsess about food, when you're deprived of food, that's your brain's way of telling you you have to eat as soon as you can, or else you're going to die. That obsession about food when you're deprived of food is what keeps us alive. When the mother that is pregnant is deprived of food, it's not just the mother that'll obsess about food, even the fetus will obsess about it too. Whenever a worker is malnourished, they are not as likely to work. In fact, they'd sit around and do nothing in their shift because they are too weak to work. You know, the availability of food can affect the cost of everything. It can affect the cost of housing. The more nutrients you have, the more productive you're able to become. The more productive you're able to become, the better the economy will get. Which means constant availability of food, basically. Touching the rainbow. The best way to nourish your cat is to feed them nothing but raw meat. It's to feed them raw meat. The best way... Not all vegans can survive the vegan diet, because some of us can literally waste away on that vegan diet. Because of, you know, losing body fat too quickly is really bad for you. Which is why your body clings on to the fat when you're in a period of complete starvation. When it goes to starvation, the hunger pains you feel would be the hunger, like if you have Prader-Willi syndrome, would be like that of those who are emaciated. Prader-Willi syndrome is something you cannot prevent. The autism disorder has a wide variety of symptoms, but you're not gonna see every last symptom of it. Some people with autism end up developing hypertonia, meaning you'd be able to swallow food very quickly. The polar opposite of Prader-Willi syndrome is currently unknown. Prader-Willi syndrome is caused by a mutation on chromosome 15. Those with PWS, once they reach about 3 or 4 years old, there's a very good chance they're going to develop the insatiable appetite. That insatiable appetite is often why they cannot hold a full-time job. They focus more on food instead of working. Some people with PWS end up eating so much to where their gut actually ruptures. That's one way. That is one of the horrible ways people with PWS end up dying. This is pretty sad. Even without that huge appetite, they really don't need that much food anyway, because their metabolism is often a lot slower. The part of your brain that controls your appetite is the and your behavior is something called the hypothalamus. Your hypothalamus controls your hunger. When your stomach is full of food, your thalamus tells you to stop eating. But in those with Prader-Willi syndrome, the thalamus, people with PWS often have obesity written in their DNA. It's something they cannot control because it's written in their DNA. Their brain thinks they cannot go even a minute without food. There are documentaries about it too. It's one of the rare causes of pediatric obesity. Pediatric obesity. There are other disorders out there that can cause an aggressive, uncontrollable appetite for food. One of those disorders is something called lipodystrophy. When you have very little body fat, your body tells you you need to eat or else you're going to die. Because, dyslipidemia... No. Hypolipidemia can kill you. Your body needs to store a certain amount of body fat so you could... Because there are some vitamins that are fat-soluble but not water-soluble. And rapid fat loss can lead to vitamin deficiency. that too quickly, that can be bad news. Anyways, this should be it for this video. Don't forget to leave a like if you like this video. Dislike if you disliked it. Subscribe for more. Share this with your comrades on social media. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. As always, thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more, and peace out.